Hey guys, so I just recorded like a 47-minute video on forgiveness, diving into the etymology of the word forgive, release, and a few others. Uh, if you're interested in that 47-minute long video, it is totally on my Patreon, so go check out my Patreon page. You can find the link on my channel. Anyhow, so just a quick little I'm not going to make this more than 20 minutes long. Maybe 10. I'm going to try and cut it off at 10, okay? But there's a lot to discuss. So first things first, let's talk about the word forgive, okay? I was actually quite surprised about the etymology of the word forgive. I even went all the way through to look at the ancient translations of the word forgive in the Bible because, Christianity teaches us forgiveness to begin with, right? So I didn't just stop there. I went to the ancient spiritual traditions and I looked there. You'd be surprised. So the word forgive means to completely give over, to completely gift, to grant, allow, or remit a debt, or to pardon an offense. It also means to give in marriage. Interesting. The word for means like completely, and giffen, which is the Middle English, Old English, where it came from. Surprising. Also, the word actually comes from Middle and Old English. There's no Latin or Greek root in the word. It's Old English. Mind blown. Totally. Anyway, there's a little bit of German in there and Dutch and Saxon. There is it does say that there's a vulgar Latin for perdonare, but that sounds more like pardon, not forgive. Saxon is vergeben, Dutch vergeben, German vergeben, all to forgive. Also, looking at the actual translations, we have a Greek word that is used as the word forgiveness is aphiemi, and it is to send away or to release or to let it go. The Old Testament Hebrew term salah is a gracious act of pardoning sin and restoring broken relationships. I didn't want to look at this from the word sin, because this is, yeah. Also a Greek term signifying release or dismiss, apolloi, I don't know. And then there's charizomai, to show grace or to grant favor, highlighting the unmerited nature of forgiveness, okay? And then I looked up the actual definition of the word. According to the Oxford Dictionary, it is to stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone for an offense, flaw, or mistake. I prefer the Merriam-Webster, and it says to excuse, condone, or pardon, mean to exact neither punishment nor redress. And then, like I said, I went into the spiritual practices. In Hinduism, it does talk about it being a divine sort of characteristic that we should all embody. In Buddhism, it is not necessarily termed as forgiveness, but compassion and kindness. It is to alleviate suffering. It doesn't condone or excuse harmful actions, but rather emphasizes the releasing the desire for revenge or cultivating an understanding for empathy. Okay. Confucianism, it looked at from the word benevolence and goodwill, and it teaches to the leader to forgive mistakes, to restore order and guide subordinates, balancing forgiveness with justice. Okay, and then in Taoism, forgiveness is an important step on the path towards a better life and enlightenment. It is about letting go of hatred and the harm done by others to achieve peace of mind. And Taoists practice forgiveness through meditation to cultivate inner peace and right-mindedness. And then the ancient Mesopotamians, this is so the ancient Mesopotamians, forgiveness was only for the gods. Like they practiced apologizing, praying, asking for forgiveness. The Egyptians, they believed it was possible to convince the gods of their innocence through magic and declarations of innocence. Does that sound like lying to you? Kind of does. Kind of does. Their negative confessions in the Book of Dead list the specific wrongdoings they denied committing to ensure a favorable just judgment in the afterlife. What? All right, so the ancient Greeks didn't really have a strong concept of forgiveness, but Aristotle discussed forgiveness in the terms of the magnanimous person who, due to their virtuous nature and superiority, might choose to pardon those who offended them. Okay, look at that. So let's talk about it from a different perspective, from the perspective of what does it do to you if you don't forgive? I do not know who said it. I do not know where it came from. It's an old proverb of some kind. Resentment is drinking a poison and expecting the other person to die. It's true. So I'm going to show you the forgiveness matrix because I want to make sure you understand that forgiveness does not equal reconciliation. I don't believe I've ever done the forgiveness matrix on this channel, but I have done the forgiveness matrix a million times. My old clients would probably be sitting there going, again. I did a lot. All right, so a matrix is a box. 2x2 matrix, and this is reconciliation up at the top. So we have a yes and a no for reconciliation, and forgiveness we have a yes and a no for forgiveness. Okay, so let's go ahead and focus on the yes and the yes. This is when you go ahead and return the relationship back to where it was before anything happened. Reconcile. I forgot to discuss the word reconcile. Anyway, this is like, yay, happy, I love you. Let's talk about the word reconcile really quick. Let's break it down. Re means to go back. Concile, come together. So to go back together. Reconciliation completely means to return to the relationship before it was damaged. Okay? So keep that in mind. On the top as well, we have yes, forgive, but no reconcile. This person's happy too. Because we're paying attention to patterns, right? If a person has told us, I'm sorry for the same exact thing more than 3 times, 3 is a pattern. They're not sorry. They're just seeing how many times they can get away with it. You can leave. I am unbothered. Yeah, because you've let it go. Forgiveness is letting it go. Every time I hear that, I really want to sing that stupid song. I can't, I won't, I refuse. All right, so let's look at the bottom here. We have no forgiveness, but we did reconcile. And we have what I like to call the woman scorned. You know that argument you've been having for 7 years? The one that never goes away? That she said that she's forgotten about, but she keeps bringing back up? The most inopportune times when it has absolutely nothing to do with the argument you're having. Forgiveness? No. Reconciliation? Yes. And the last but not least, this is your no reconciliation, no forgiveness. This is resentment. Rawr, I curse you. Ah. Got some tears going on here. I feel like they're made of like ice or something. The eyes are black and there's like 3 frowny faces there. This is the poison that is eating your soul alive. Worse than that, they still have control over you. You are allowing someone else to control you. What, you don't like hearing that? It's truth. If you don't let go and you continue to harbor that resentment, anytime someone mentions their name, they're living rent free in your head again. sometimes for days, sometimes for weeks. That anger just eats you up inside. Makes you tense, makes your heart pound, makes your face sweat, or just really hot. Your ears ring, get really red. That is you not having control of your own body. That is you not having control over your own emotions. And we have control over nothing except for what happens from ground chakra to earth star chakra, to earth star chakra. That's it. That is all we have control over. We have no control over what's going on out there. We have no control over what's happening in the other person's head. And if we don't control what's going on in here, and in here, and in here, somebody else is. Are you really willing to let somebody else control you? Because not letting go, not forgiving, not having love in your heart, not having compassion is tethering you. So, I'm already at 11:44. I am going to talk to you about how to find that forgiveness, how to find that compassion, and how to turn that anger into love. I have spoken several times over the last week or two about going back into your past and finding the patterns. Before you can forgive another person, you have to look at your own actions. What did you think about yourself? What did you say about yourself? What did you feel about yourself? Forgive those 3 things. Write them down. Write a process letter to yourself. Tell yourself how you hurt yourself in every single one of those patterns, every single one of those cycles, every single one of those relationships. Forgive yourself. Then release it. This is your way of practicing compassion and forgiveness. And I'm not talking about shaming and blaming yourself. So do not sit there and say, well, you shouldn't have been at this place at that time. No. What did you think about yourself? What did you feel about yourself? What did you say about yourself? Where was your self-love? What were you saying about you to the universe? Because the universe doesn't like to hear those negative things that you say about yourself. So they'll present those things to you in front of your face so you can see somebody else telling you the things you don't like about yourself. So you can go, oh my gosh, I don't like that. Stop saying that about me. And then you wake up and you're like, that's not true. I'm not like that. That is why the universe sends them to you. So you stop thinking it about yourself. Because sometimes we don't listen to ourselves. We only listen when someone else tells us. And when someone else tells us, it hits us harder. The slap in the face is like terribly strong. Because they don't feel it. But you do. And if you keep allowing it to ring inside of your head as truth, the universe will keep throwing them at you and keep throwing them at you and keep throwing them at you till you realize it's not truth. So forgive yourself for what you thought about yourself, what you said about yourself, and what you felt about yourself. No blaming, no shaming. Then when you forgive yourself and give yourself compassion, remember, forgiveness can never understand love. Fear can never understand love. When you have fear in your heart, you are closing your heart off to love. And what you had prior was fear. Do not be mad at yourself for being in fear. That was instilled and programmed into your mind from the day you were born. You cannot be mad at a baby for not knowing how to speak and tell you what it needs. Don't be mad at yourself for not understanding love. Forgive. Once you have forgiven yourself and you understand compassion from this particular nature, you can forgive others. You don't see them as the one who hurt you anymore. You see them as the catalyst for your change. The one who woke you up when they didn't even realize they were doing it. They are no longer the ones that hurt you, but they don't have to be in your life anymore if they continue to try to program you with these thoughts. If they cannot accept you and your boundaries, they do not deserve to be in your life. The rule of 3. Set the boundary, remind of the boundary. This is a pattern, time to go. Love yourself. Forgive yourself and others. And have compassion. Let me explain the compassion part for you, okay? This is my beautiful drawing of the representation of our existence. The central circle is the center sun, aka heaven if you'd like, source for others. 0, the center of the universe is, whatever. That's where the light is. Okay? The infinite loop that we do, we leave the source of light and go all the way out as far as we need to go away from the light to remember we want to be here. And then we do the same exact thing. We leave to go out as far as we need to go outside of the light to experience what we need to experience and then come back in. Okay? You may be right here on this journey headed in, while that person may be out here headed out. Who are you to judge? Their experience. They need to experience that too. There is a lesson for them to learn in that darkness. Just as much as there was a lesson for you to learn. Even if you only had to go out to here and then come back, you had to learn a lesson there. I just received a thought that the older that not older, but like the more incarnations we have done, the closer we are to ascending, the less of a distance away we must travel. But that's not necessarily true because each individual soul has their own individual path, right? Regardless, we'll all end up right there again. It's just a matter of how far out do we need to go? Is it a short trip away from the sun? Or is it like 6 cycles away from the sun? As long as balance is eventually restored. This is the key. It is not our place to judge someone else's path. They are learning just as much as you are. Yes, it just so happened that they were in your life for a reason. Like I said, to be a catalyst to awaken you to the fact that you are not what you say you are and think you are when you are in fear. When you are in love, you see the truth. Fear, I absolutely love this in this particular case, is false evidence appearing real. When you are in fear, you think lowly of yourself because you are a low vibrational being. You have a bandwidth of this. You do not understand love, which is this. When you finally come out of fear and you are in this, you understand who you are as a person, as a being, as a soul. Because now you can understand the information that is coming to you, whereas here you could not. I totally made it over 20 minutes. I'm sorry, guys. I will continue this talk another time. Okay? Bye, guys.